The party was already chaotic when I got there. A bunch of us crammed into Tyler's basement, music blasting, neon lights flashing, and half-empty soda bottles and vape pens scattered everywhere. Someone had brought a bottle of peach schnapps, but no one was drinking. It wasn't about the booze tonight. It was about TikTok. Jacob was in the middle of the room, his phone propped up against a speaker. "All right, guys, you ready?" He grinned, holding up the bottle of Benadryl like it was some kind of trophy. "The syrup challenge!" Take way too much, wait for the hallucinations, and ride the high. Some people saw weird shapes. Others claimed they talked to dead relatives. But Jacob wanted to take it to the next level. "Bro, this is dumb," I muttered. "Are you sure about this?" He rolled his eyes. "Dude, I saw a guy on TikTok do 15 pills, and he was fine." He wasn't fine. I had seen the video. The guy looked like he was fighting invisible demons. But Jacob had already unscrewed the bottle cap. Someone whooped as he poured the thick pink syrup straight into his mouth. He chugged the full bottle like a pro. Some kids cheered. Some recorded a countdown. The rest of us just waited. And then we watched. At first, it was funny. Jacob giggled, eyes darting around the room like he was seeing things we couldn't. He swayed, blinking slow, his lips twitching into an off-kilter smile. "Yo," he mumbled. "Why is everything melting?" People laughed. Someone shoved a phone in his face. "Dude, what do you see?" Jacob frowned, his pupils blown wide. "Shadow people," he whispered. The room got quieter. His fingers twitched. Then, out of nowhere, he let out this sharp, strangled laugh that made the hairs on my arms stand up. "Oh my God!" he gasped, grabbing my wrist. "I can see the end!" I swallowed. "The end of what?" He stared right through me. "Everything." Minutes passed, but Jacob got worse. The laughing stopped. His breathing was weird, shallow, fast. His skin looked gray under the neon lights. Then he started muttering to himself, low and shaky, like he was having a conversation no one else could hear. "Dude, sit down," Tyler said, uneasy. Jacob ignored him. He was watching something only he could see. "They want me," he murmured. "Who?" Someone joked, still filming. Jacob's face twisted. Suddenly, he screamed, a gut-wrenching animalistic scream. The room exploded into chaos. Someone dropped their phone. A girl shrieked. Jacob clawed at his arms like something was crawling under his skin. Then he bolted, straight upstairs, shoving people out of the way. "Jacob!" I ran after him. We found him in the backyard, staggering toward the house's edge, the two-story drop looming beneath him. "Jacob, stop!" He turned, eyes glassy, a sick grin twisting his lips. "I wonder if I can fly." And he stepped onto the ledge. The next few seconds blurred. I grabbed his arm. Tyler tackled him from the side. We yanked him down just as his foot slipped. He hit the ground, convulsing, foaming at the mouth. He started vomiting blood. Thick, dark red, pouring out like something had ruptured inside of him. His eyes bulged, bloodshot and wide, as if he saw something horrible lurking in the shadows around us. His hands clawed at his throat, choking on his own fluids. The veins on his forehead throbbed, looking like they were about to burst. Someone gagged. A girl screamed for someone to call 911, but the others kept filming, recording the way Jason spasmed, the way his body twitched violently against the cold grass, the way his lips turned black like he was rotting from the inside out. Some were laughing nervously, others whispering, but no one, not a single one, dropped their phones to help. I did. I dropped mine and grabbed his shoulders. "Jacob, stay with me, man!" His mouth opened, but no sound came out. just more blood. And then his body started jerking harder, his head smacking against the ground. His pupils shrank to pinpoints, his fingers twitching like broken marionette strings. A long, deep exhale, and stillness. By the time the ambulance arrived, Jacob was gone. They tried. The paramedics did everything they could, but there was nothing left to save. His body was limp, his lips were blue. His phone, still streaming live, was covered in vomit and dirt, a grotesque timestamp of his last moments. And then, like vultures, the videos went viral. Days passed, the world moved on. TikTok deleted the clips, but not before they racked up millions of views. People commented crying emojis, hashtags trended, parents held press conferences. TikTok issued a statement, all while another stupid challenge replaced this one. Jacob became a statistic, and his so-called friends, the ones who cheered him on, they moved on too. New parties, new dares, new content. Me? I visit his parents. Their house is quiet now, suffocatingly so. His mom sits by the window most days, staring outside as if waiting for her son to come home. His dad barely speaks. I bring flowers sometimes, but they just sit there, wilting, just like them. No one talks about Jacob anymore, not really. His friends barely mention him, and when they do, it's just a name, a headline, a tragedy, another warning no one will listen to. And I wonder, which way is this world heading? I was just goofing around with the guys in the school corridor when a sharp, shrill scream cut through the air. Heads turned, phones came out, and a crowd was forming near the lockers. I recognized that voice instantly. It was the queen of Mean Girls, Amaya.
Are you blind or just stupid?
She yelled, her manicured fingers clutching the front of a timid girl's hoodie. Pearl, the quiet girl from my English class, the one nobody really noticed. I pushed through the crowd just in time to see Amaya shove her back. Pearl stumbled but caught herself, her hands trembling. A dark stain spread across Amaya's designer top, her spilled caramel macchiato dripping down in thick, sticky streaks.
It was an accident.
Pearl mumbled, her voice nervous but honest.
An accident?
Amaya's voice went up an octave.
You ruined my top, you little rat. Do you even own clothes that cost more than $10? Oh wait, let me guess. Thrift store special?
Laughter rippled through the crowd. Pearl looked up, a flash of defiance in her usually downcast eyes.
At least I don't have to buy my friends to make myself feel important.
A collective gasp. Even I couldn't help but let out a, "Oh, damn!" Amaya's face twisted in fury. Her hand shot up, aiming to slap Pearl, but before it could land, I grabbed her wrist. "Cut it out, Amaya," I said, keeping my voice firm. "It was an accident. Drop it." Her eyes flared with disbelief.
Are you seriously taking her aside right now?
"I'm saying you're making a scene. Let it go." She yanked her arm away, let out an exasperated scoff, and stormed off. The crowd dispersed, but not before some kids whispered and chuckled at the showdown. I turned to Pearl, who was still standing there, fingers gripping the hem of her hoodie. "You okay?" I asked. She nodded, avoiding my eyes.
Thanks for that.
That was the first time we really talked. Over the next few weeks, Pearl and I started hanging out. Turns out, she was cool. Funny in a sarcastic way. She had this dry, sharp wit that always caught me off guard. One weekend, we went to the beach, filmed a TikTok, just messed around in the waves. I posted it, no big deal, except it became a big deal. The next day at practice, I caught sight of Amaya marching across the gym, straight toward Pearl, who was sitting on the bleachers.
You really think you're something, don't you?
Amaya spat. Pearl raised a brow.
Oh no, my evil plan has been exposed. I befriended Mervyn just to ruin your life.
Amaya's nostrils flared.
Stay away from him. He's mine. Oh, I didn't realize people were property now. My bad.
Amaya lunged, but I stepped between them, again. What's your problem? I snapped at Amaya. Her expression shifted. She blinked innocently.
Can we just talk? Alone?
I sighed, rubbing the back of my neck. Fine. As we walked away, she reached for my hand. I didn't pull away fast enough. Over my shoulder, I saw Pearl watching, her expression unreadable. The next day, neither Amaya nor I were at school. Then came the TikTok. Amaya posted it, her in a luxurious pool, me beside her. The caption? He finally asked me to prom. Hashtag power couple. Hashtag sorry not sorry. It all happened so fast that I barely got time to react. My phone exploded with notifications. Pearl didn't text, didn't call. I should have known something was wrong. The night before prom, my phone buzzed. It was Pearl. Her voice was shaky.
Mervin, I need your help.
What? What's wrong?
I'm in trouble. I sent you my location. Please come.
My heart pounded. The location pin dropped in my messages. An abandoned construction site on the outskirts of town. When I got there, it was dead silent. The skeletal frame of an unfinished building loomed against the night sky. My flashlight flickered over cracked concrete and rusted beams. And then, I saw her. Pearl was sitting on the ground, facing the corner of a broken wall, her back towards me. Her shoulders shook as she sobbed uncontrollably. Pearl? Is everything all right? No response. I stepped closer. My flashlight beam landed on something beside her, and I froze. It was Amaya, only she wasn't breathing anymore. Her mouth was grotesquely stuffed with crumpled dollar bills and coins. Her wide, unseeing eyes were frozen in horror, bulging from their sockets. Her nails were broken, her fingers twisted, as if she had tried to claw something, anything. I gagged, stepping back. Pearl's sobbing turned into laughter. She turned to face me, and my stomach dropped. Her face, she was smiling, but her eyes were wet with tears, her cheeks streaked with smudged mascara. She looked unhinged.
You see, Marvin, she tried to buy you with money, with fake love. So I fed her as much money as she could take until she choked on it.
I stumbled backward. Pearl, what did you do?
I made things right.
She cocked her head, grinning.
Now we can be together, free of her poison. Just you and me.
A sickening chill crawled up my spine. I reached for my phone, hands shaking, and called the cops. The last thing I saw before they dragged her away was Pearl's face, still smiling, still crying, and still whispering my name.
Mervin. Mervin.
Last year, hype over that TikTok app was at its peak, so I foolishly decided to see what the big deal was. Don't get me wrong, some of the surface stuff was pretty cool. All the little dance routines and lip sync videos kept me entertained for a while, but I think I went a little too deep down the rabbit hole because I found just about the creepiest trash I'd ever come across. I'm not even sure how I found this guy. I mean, like I said, I was just tapping and scrolling, going further and further down my TikTok rabbit hole, but somehow I ended up watching a video of this guy with glasses and a handlebar mustache saying stuff like, "Good morning, my queen's above 18. So, as you can imagine, right away I'm all like, what in God's name is this mess? I scroll through his TikToks a little before coming across another video from this guy, the King, where he greets people with queens above 18. First of all, who says stuff like that? But second, the guy was obsessed with the idea of his queens being above 18. Like anyone who talks about it that much is definitely a little sus. But then the video goes on showing him asking all of his queens to do something called the King Challenge, which turned out to be nothing more than getting girls to wear a white t-shirt and having them pour water down the front of their shirts. I'm not kidding. That's all the King Challenge involved. It was just the creepy way he tried to sound almost fatherly about it too. Like, I swear to God, at one point, he even said, like, try to make it fun. Make a little game out of it, my queens. Just everything about this guy screamed absolute creep, and I was barely surprised when I saw that he'd replied to a comment asking, "Why have you been talking to my 16-year-old girlfriend?" or something like that. So, as you can tell, TikTok is on thin ice already. I'm already kind of jaded with social media in general, purely for the number of creeps that use it, and that's on top of the fact that social media is super bad for your mental health. Like, I don't want anything on my phone that makes me feel terrible or creeps me out. Then, I'm not kidding, like 5 minutes later, I'm scrolling through some of the less popular dance TikToks when I come across the video that made me go, I'm out. It starts off with this old dude like crouched down, propping his phone against something to record himself. So at first, all you see is this dude's wrinkles. And then as the guy steps away from the phone, you see his bare foot with jeans on. Then there's nothing on his upper half but what I'm guessing was one half of an extra small girl's bathing suit, like the tube top kind. He then starts doing these creepy hand dances while growling completely inaudible words underneath his breath, all in what looked a lot like the basement of a serial killer. All I could think was that his little dance routine might be the last thing I see before he bashes my skull in or something, and this cold shiver just runs right through me. I get that apps like TikTok make people happy and bring people together and all that good stuff. I honestly get that. But to me, social media has always been this glimpse into how petty, immature, and downright frightening human beings can sometimes be. So yeah, TikTok, it's gonna be a no from me, dog.